This is going to be a little different than some of my other streams because I guess I'm going to talk a little more philosophically about Tesla and the Cybertruck based on this recent Nikola Witch-hunt. If you don't know, and I'm assuming a lot of you have watched the video that I posted earlier about this, but Nikola has gone on a recent witch hunt where anybody that showed any portion of that controversial truck, which we now know is rolling down a hill, they've gone in and they've struck those YouTubers with copyright strikes, which actually is not only does it take the video down, but it also, if you get too many of them, they actually ban you from YouTube. It's obviously being used as a club in order to intimidate anyone that they can intimidate by attacking them and doing this, which is just, it's crazy. I posted that video, and in the video, I shared a little piece where I got a little emotional, and I wanted to explain kind of why, and I wanted to explain why that sort of feeds into generally my excitement around Battery Day. Now, I know you're like, what? How do you connect those dots? So you're going to have to bear with me because I'm going to stitch together some things here. But it speaks to one of the things that I think we can get fixated on are the details of the Cybertruck. You know, what will the suspension do? What will the specifications be? All those things. And all those things are fun and they're interesting and they're exciting. I'm all about features and benefits and all that other stuff. But this incident with Nikola had me thinking a lot about sort of philosophically why I believe so strongly in Tesla and why I'm so excited about the Cybertruck, even though I don't know all the details. Here's what I wanted to, as I started thinking about this and I started thinking about the stream, and I thought about, you know, it seems weird because it's like, on one hand, it like has nothing to do with the Cybertruck, right? It's this weird political fight that has nothing to do with the Cybertruck or even what I'm passionate about. But it reminded me of something, and it did kind of, the reason I got kind of emotional in my video is that I have a history with bullies, and I was bullied from the time I was, and you know, someone said in the comments, they're like, you're a big guy, you know, it doesn't seem like you're the kind of person to be bullied. But you gotta realize, yeah, I was big, I was fat. I mean, I'm fat now. I was fat then. And back in the day, anything that caused you to stand out, you would get bullied over. And so I was the little fat kid until I got big. But I developed like a reflex. I hate we're using the word triggered, but it is, I kind of lose my shit when I see people getting bullied. What happened when I was young, I got to 7th grade and then I got big, and then I started playing football. And when the combination of the two things made me go, I don't care if you hit me. It's not going to be any worse than what happens to me on the practice field. And it totally changed my attitude about standing up for myself. Literally, one punch ended everything because it was one kid that was sort of the leader of this little clique of kids that had been dogging me for like 5 years. It was just brutal. When you're a kid, it's like terrifying to be bullied like that. So finally I got big enough and I got comfortable enough with, I was like, well, you can kick the shit out of me, but I'm going to make you pay. Every time you bully me, I'm going to make you pay. And I wasn't worried about him. I was worried about his big brother. And after I slugged him, his big brother did beat the shit out of me. And as soon as he beat the shit out of me, the little brother who had been bullying me all those years, I turned to him and I said, guess you can't fight your own fights. And I won. I had the shit beat out of me and I still won. And it was over. That was it. But from that point forward, if I saw someone bullying someone, I would step in. It just angered me. But what happened to me as I got older is I realized that those people, they go to work in corporations. And I'm not saying every big corporation is bad. They're not all bad. But what tends to happen inside of a corporation is once you lose kind of the initial vision and the culture gets focused on generating quarterly profits, there's two kinds of people that tend to thrive inside those environments. And one kind are bullies, and the second kind are manipulators. Now, it's a broad brush, and I'm not saying that everybody inside of a big corporation is a bully or a manipulator. I've met a lot of awesome people that work in big corporations, but what I am saying is that what happens in a lot of big corporations is they become extremely focused on delivering quarterly results. And so the whole system gets optimized to reward the people that sort of can be relentlessly capable of delivering those results. And there's two types of people that can kind of thrive in that environment, and that tends to be bullies and manipulators. If you work in a big company, I'm not attacking you. I'm saying what happened to me is I got inside of a big corporate, not a big one, but a medium-sized one, and it was like poison. And because what happens in a big corporation, when you have sort of this combination of bullies and manipulators, and even, I would say there's even bullies and manipulators that want to do the right thing, but they're sort of like driven to do the thing that gets them advanced. You get this self-reinforcing cycle. And what happens is it drives out your most talented people, your most creative people, and anybody that can't either comply or win politically. What ends up happening is when these large corporations, they lose their vision, they lose their the thing that caused them to be great to begin with. What ends up getting substituted for that is politics. And you end up having all these little smaller and smaller and smaller fiefdoms of people that are trying to defend their own little kingdom within this bigger kingdom. And they like fight with each other for power, for influence. And there's two big things that they're rewarded for. The first thing they're rewarded for is delivering on the results. And the second thing that they're rewarded for is not screwing up. So you end up getting this system where the goal is don't mess up because you don't want to stand out, because you might not get promoted, but then you won't get fired. The problem is that I think what Nikola had initially was a hell of a manipulator. And that was, that was Trevor. He was smooth. He was cunning. He was able to persuade people to make large commitments. And he was really able to do that side of the equation. And then what I think is happening right now is he obviously left. And now what's left is the other half of the equation I was talking about. I don't know what the actual person who's going around filing these copyright strikes, I don't think that person is doing it because they think it's the right thing to do. I think they're doing it because that's what they're being told to do. Somebody who's used to being a bully is feeling attacked and is saying, we need to assert our dominance. We need to show them who's boss. And what they are used to inside of what happens inside the corporation is that works. Everyone submits or they get purged. And they're either used to winning through manipulating or winning through bullying. And so this is what happens. They get into this position and then they wade out into another world like Twitter and YouTube. It's entirely foreign to them. I'll bet these people, that the person at the top of Nikola, I bet he probably doesn't even have a Twitter account. thinks it's those damn millennials or some such. But my point is that it speaks of a mindset that I have seen my whole life, that they want to control it. They want to bring compliance. They're going to show their force. And what happens is that it works for a while. That's the illusion. That's the problem with this, is that in these corporations, they have all this momentum, right? They have this history, this heritage, this vision, this culture. And then this bullying and manipulating sort of political culture gradually starts to take hold of the organization. And because they're running on all this historical market share and innovation, they have it. It looks like they're succeeding because they are able to lower costs. And there's this window of time where they're squeezing the life out of the organization where it actually looks like they're doing a good job. And then at the end, you get Sears or Blockbuster or Eastman Kodak or whatever, right? There's all these companies that started with astonishing, bold visions, creative ideas, exciting culture, but then they got taken over by the bullies and the manipulators. And then they got the life wrung out of them. And at the end, they're just an empty husk. And there is no profit because there is no innovation. There is no durable competitive advantage. There's no ability to attract the best talent in the world. None of that's there. And then when there's no more juice to squeeze, they go bankrupt. And that's what happens. And it happens over and over and over and over again. And that's why there's so many people that say that they believe more and they are more likely to invest in founder-led companies. And that's why generally it's so hard for companies that have these bold visionaries with such strong ideals to maintain that long term. It's not that it's impossible, but it generally is. It's very difficult. So, all right, that I waxed eloquent about the whole issue of bullies and all this stuff. But I'm going somewhere now. Tesla Battery Day. What you have to understand is that when people like Elon Musk, people that have such clear vision and an understanding of where they're going, that they're not necessarily driven to feel like they need to explain it all to us. What he's doing, he's not trying to persuade us. He's not trying to, again, if you look at, and I don't have anything against Lucid, but if you look at the spin and the polish and all the stuff that the glitz of their reveal and how much time and energy went into like naming the color schemes. Can you imagine, just imagine Elon Musk thinking about naming the color schemes of a Tesla? It's ludicrous, right? I mean, it's ludicrous because he's not trying to come up with fancy little emotional hooks to trigger us, to actually get us to buy the Cybertruck or the Tesla. He's like, I'm going to make the best goddamn vehicle that's ever been made, and you're going to love it. That's it. And he is so sure, and he sees the future with such clarity, and he is so passionate about especially driving and the experience of driving and the goal of winning in the whole renewable thing, not by saying this is our obligation, but by saying, I am going to kick the ass of everyone that thinks ICE vehicles are better. And I'm going to do it in so many ways. I'm not just going to do it in one way, not just performance, not efficiency, not styling, not longevity. No, I'm going to do it in every way. Like I'm going to go through every component of the vehicle from top to bottom, front to back, how you buy it, how you drive it, how you charge it. I'm going to make it epic. Every part of it I'm going to make epic. And I don't have to explain it to you. If you can keep up with me, fine. But I don't need to explain it to you. You're going to have to trust me. This is why I don't want to get lost in the details of the Cybertruck. And I do want to go into some details and some thoughts I had following Battery Day, but I'm trying to set a philosophical context about why I think the Cybertruck is going to be so special. And it's going to be much bigger than its contingent parts. It's going to be the sum of those parts. And even if we can't see it, even if we can't understand it, he sees it. And the team at Tesla sees it. Now, you can go a little bit of a hard right turn here, but if you go hunting, and I'm not a hunter, but I know a lot of hunters, there's different dogs that are trained for different kinds of hunting. There's dogs that are for retrieving, golden retrievers, labs, that you shoot a bird and they go get it and they bring it back. And then there's other dogs that are pointers, and their job is to just alert you that, oh, there's game really close, get ready. And then they'll flush the birds into the air so that you can shoot. Now, if you're a dog person or a hunter and I'm wrong, just roll with the analogy. I like the analogy, so you're just going to have to go with that. So, and then there's also there's dogs that actually themselves hunt. Now, they don't do it anymore. Not much. I mean, yeah, not really, but because it's kind of considered cruel. But Rottweilers, trying to think, English bulldogs, even terriers were bred to hunt rats and kill them. So there's dogs that were actually designed to go kill an actual animal. You could say of any of them, they're a hunting dog, right? I mean, they're all hunting dogs, but they're not at all alike. Following Battery Day, I said I was only interested in what two people had to say. Jordan over at The Limiting Factor and Sandy Monroe. To me, those are pointers. Those are two people. I don't know batteries. I don't know engineering. I don't know how to smell a pheasant or a duck, or pheasant, I guess, or grouse or whatever. I don't know how to do that. That's why I got my dog, right? I'm bringing that dog. I'm not looking out. I'm not looking out going, where are those pheasants? Where are those grouse? I'm not getting down in the weeds and looking. You know what I'm doing? I'm looking at my freaking dog. That's what I'm doing. I'm going, hey, I don't know this. You're here. I am looking at you. And when you say there's something close, I'm not going, I'm not sure. Let me smell. I don't smell the pheasant. I don't hear the pheasant. Jesus. I'm like, he knows. I brought him along because he freaking knows. And he is going bonkers. There is something just up there. And I'm getting ready because I know to trust him. Stock analysts, they're like whatever, pit bulls or Rottweilers. You bring them out to they have one mode, run and I gotta run and go get this thing. You look at that, it's like you're solving the wrong problem. You're looking at people they're solving the wrong problem. You know what they're looking at? They're looking at trailing indicators. They're looking at what has happened. Those pointers, they're looking at what's ahead. That's why when I saw those guys get excited, I was like, screw the stock analysts. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. These guys, they know. They know. Sandy's, like I said in my video last week, I was like, he spent the better part of 40 years becoming a professional bullshit detector. And Jordan is freaking almost become one of the leading battery experts just by single-minded focus and his passion for understanding batteries. I don't understand, literally, I'm not kidding you, 2/3 of the stuff those guys talk about when they get technical. I'm hanging on by the skin of my teeth. but I can see them pointing. And I can see the fire in their eyes. And I can see the excitement. I can see their jaws drop. And I know there's something here, boys. This is going to be good. So then all I got to do is I just got to wait. I just got to wait because I know some good's coming. And I'm just going to stand there and I'm going to let the people that know what the hell they're talking about tell me when I should get excited. Now, I know that was like, that didn't have anything to do with the Cybertruck and even really battery day. And on one hand, but I'm trying to explain why. There isn't anyone else. There's no one else. There's no one coming for Tesla. There is no one. Now, maybe there will be someone. I'm not saying there aren't going to be other people that can compete with Tesla. No, I'm not saying that at all. But there ain't no one that's going to be Tesla. They're it. They're the leader. They're the big dogs. They're the baddest MFers in the arena. And Elon, he has the power and the vision and the creativity and the focus to just keep delivering mind-blowing results. Here's the thing that I've started thinking about. What if Elon is telling the truth on everything? Just imagine he is. I know everyone says, well, he is. That's why we believe. Yeah, I know. But on days where everyone's like, oh, a bunch of Tesla killers. Oh, the vehicles aren't going to be good. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. It's like, okay, but just step back and imagine. What if he's telling the truth? Telling the truth on self-driving, telling the truth on how many units they're going to sell, and telling the truth on this last thing that I want to talk about. I'm putting better than 50% odds on the fact that Elon is telling the truth. Okay? Here's why I'm excited. Elon Musk said something about the Cybertruck. He said it, and almost nobody is taking him seriously. Here's what he said. A few simple words. The Cybertruck needs to kick butt in Baja. Let's assume we can take Elon at his word. And here's why I'm saying this. The Baja 1000 is literally one of the most brutal, grueling, difficult off-road races that exist in the world. But something like 50% of the vehicles that started don't even finish. They break down. It is a combination of high speed, insane off-road, durability, and all kinds of unexpected hazards. Most people would say something like that, and you would think it's hype, it's marketing. But if you just think it's possible that in the back of Elon's mind, he actually intends to deliver. He actually intends to at least create some version of the Cybertruck that is actually capable of competing in the Baja 1000. Now, the only reason I say that is because on Battery Day, they revealed the Tesla Model S Plaid. And the Tesla Model S Plaid is insane. The specifications that were revealed there is no good reason why a vehicle of any sort needs to be able to do what that did. But it's $139,000 car. That car turned in a lap time, which Elon thinks they can improve, of 1 minute and 30 seconds on the Laguna Seca track. That's 3 seconds shy of the record that any production car has had on that track. What's that car? That's this one right here. 2019 McLaren Senna. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this car. So here's what you need to have. Here's the kind of vehicle that you need to have. You need to have a car that can produce 800 horsepower and 600 foot-pounds of torque. you have to get astonishingly lightweight. So in order for this car to do what it did, the weight of this vehicle is 2,600 pounds. That's like 1,000 pounds lighter than a Camry or something. It has a body that's made out of carbon fiber because they have to get the weight so low. They have to get the power to weight such a differential that they can rocket this car at astonishing speeds for a production vehicle. In order for it to actually do that, it has to create its own downforce because it's so light that at the speeds that it attains, the vehicle will actually come up off the pavement. So there's all this engineering in aerodynamics and wings, these monster wings and all kinds of different things they need to do to get the aerodynamics right in order to get enough downforce so that at the speeds it's trying to achieve, it doesn't just go drifting off. It has to have some of the most advanced braking and suspension systems that exist, period. Not for production vehicles, but that exist. And if you want this, it's going to cost you $1 million. That's what it's going to cost. Tesla's going to do it for $129,000 this year. What are they going to do it for in 2 years, in 3 years? Elon didn't need to do this. This wasn't a need. There was no reason why, from a profit standpoint, this had to be done. This is what happens when you don't need to bully and you don't need to manipulate, but you do want to make your point. What you do is you just go out and you freaking destroy the competition. So, what I'm saying is that I think that when Elon Musk said the Cybertruck needs to be whatever, needs to kick ass in the Baja, I think he means it. I think he's working behind the scenes to do the same thing with the Cybertruck that he did with the Model S. I think the Cybertruck is a passion project for Elon Musk. I think it was his craziest design. There were the most skeptics. Nobody thought it would work. He was way out on a limb, and I think he's got something to prove. All right, we'll catch you next time, guys. Bye.